Fuel scarcity is currently affecting Nigeria, causing long queues and increased price. The NNPC Limited has acknowledged recent reports in some quarters regarding the company's significant debt to petrol suppliers. According to Lufeni Shune, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, NNPC Limited, the financial strain has placed considerable pressure on the company and poses a threat to the sustainability of fuel supply. However, the company says it is actively collaborating with relevant government agencies and other stakeholders to maintain consistent supply of petrol products nationwide. Now, how best can this problem be solved once and for all? On this program, Nigeria Today, we are looking at fuel situation. Thanks for joining us. I am Ikaria Clinton. Now, joining us in the studio is Ukadike Chinedu. He's a National Publicity Secretary, IPMAN. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you, and good evening, Nigerians.
And also with us in the studio is Majid Dahiru. He's a Public Affairs Analyst. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'll start with you, Chinedu. You know, this issue of fuel scarcity, it will come, and when we think everything is over, suddenly it reappears again. So tell us, what are the issues?
Well, it is a recording decimal in Nigeria that there is no adequate supply of petroleum products. Nigeria is dependent on importation of petroleum products while we export our crude oil. And this thing has gone for a very long time. Successive governments has come promising that they are going to revamp the refinery and has given us several trillions of naira has been invested in the turnaround maintenance of these our refineries. We lost Port Harcourt refinery, we lost Warri refinery. Kaduna was shut down because it was producing not in our ultimate level. So now, when all these refineries are gone, the pipelines are gone, the only option left is to import petroleum products. And Nigeria started importing petroleum products. And you see this harvest of tank farms in the coastal areas, because that's the only port where they can be able to receive vessels, you know, coming into Nigeria. So there was influx in Apapa, regular traffic in Apapa. There was influx of trucks in Calabar. There was also influx of trucks in Warri, especially in Ogara. The roads became battered because trucks now travel long distance, close to 600 kilometers from the coastal area to the upland area. Because in the upland area, there are no satellite depots whereby petroleum products can be pumped to those pipelines, because we have lost our pipelines. The NNPC designed a mode of transporting petroleum products. We have System 2A, 2B, 2C, and System 2E. Let me give an example of System 2E. The System 2E takes products from Port Harcourt to Aba Depot, Aba Depot to Enugu Depot, Enugu Depot to Makoti. And we even have a substation at Makoti that pumps to Yola. So if product is being received in Port Harcourt, through our pipelines alone, they can move. And you will not see all these trucks on the road. Products within 2, 3, 4, 5 days would have hit Makodi. And people within that TDZ will be able to get petroleum products. Now, the problem we are facing now is that these refineries, who has been obsolete, has not been revamped and start working. Port Harcourt refinery, this is September. It's again. And we are told that Port Harcourt refinery is coming up in September.
Okay, so, we're talking about the current issues. However, I'll come back to you. Now, back to you, Dahiru. The NNPC have come. They have come that to say, okay, we acknowledge that there's a debt that's been owed the suppliers, and they've come to say, okay, we'll do what we can to ensure that things get back to normal. So, what's your take on this?
The revelation by the NNPC didn't come as a surprise because it's an open secret that subsidy has been restored through the recovery as far back as August last year, because the increase in price of petroleum got to a level where it was beginning to have negative impact on the economy, as you saw the inflation numbers reading. And of course, the attendant social unrest that would have followed made it necessary, in line with government's responsibility of providing energy security, which includes affordability of energy products, and an important one such as PMS, to impose a price ceiling. So what has happened is that that responsibility was borne largely by the NNPC, not by the federal government, because there was no appropriation for subsidy or any form of shortfall. So what the NNPC has come out to say now is that they have been bearing this burden, and they are even indebted to suppliers because they actually buy from the suppliers and then sell at a rate that is below the market rate, just for us to enjoy some level of subsidy. So essentially, the summary of what an NPC is saying is that we can no longer continue with this system, and so anytime from now, the price increase you are seeing as a result of scarcity might become a permanent reality.
We don't pay for that.
Well, except the government decides to do that which is within its responsibility to do, and which is to appropriate now for subsidy to ease the burden on NNPC. While NNPC begins to sort out itself, will have to pay the suppliers for outstanding products supplied that have not been paid for. So we need to have a robust conversation about the role of government and whether or not for the Nigerian state to introduce subsidy as was in the past in order to bring the price of PMS to a manageable level. And I think I share your anxiety. I do not think that it is healthy for the economy, for the price of petroleum to even go beyond this level. In fact, we are praying for it to come down. Any marginal increase in the price of petrol beyond this level will be worse off for the economy and might also trigger a social unrest on a scale we've not seen before. So I think the government should be very proactive and awake to its responsibility at this time that NNPC appears to be overburdened.
Now, back to you, Ukadike. You are, of course, one of the marketers. And yes, sometimes when things like this happen, will I say the torchlight is on marketers?
Yes.
Something is happening.
Yes.
You know. So tell us, what exactly do you think should be done to ensure that situations like this, are nipped in the bud?
Well, with independent marketers, after a very serious meeting with our national president, Alhaji Gandhi, we also have decided to encourage our marketers not to hold petroleum products. We're also setting up monitoring teams so that when we get this product, we can be able to distribute and ensure that we sell at a very, very relative price. But the snag we're having now is that we can only get petroleum products through only one source, and that source is NNPCL. It's only when NNPCL gives us products through their portal. That is when independent marketers can be able to reliably sell product within the price range that is, pocket friendly to, commuters. But the independent marketer will not just clog their hands after spending big amount of money to be able to establish a filling station. So we go out of our way to be able to go to our brothers, the DAPMAN members, the other stakeholders, to collaborate with other stakeholders in the industry, the DAPMAN members, the MOMAN members, to be able to buy petroleum products, from them to run the filling stations. And since the Petroleum Equalization Fund has been removed, although marketers are still being owned, you understand, we are not being paid up till now. Some of the money are still stuck there. These are capital of marketers. Before the removal of subsidy, we are getting petroleum products with 8.70 million naira. But now you spend over 30 to 40 million naira to buy that same quantity of petroleum products. The business is not fast moving, and now there's no alleviation in terms of petroleum equalization. So if you get this product from the coastal area, you must take it to the upland, where you can, since your stations are in upland. Independent marketers, we are scattered around the nooks and crannies of this country. There is no place we don't have an independent marketer. So when we take this product, we bought the cost of transportation ourselves. And most of the time, our trucks get damaged on the road. And it is also our cost. We spend almost like a week transporting one petroleum product from maybe Apapa or Calabar to Gombe or Bauchi. And we spend close to 4.5 million naira transport. So the price will not be the same. There is no equalization in price. Government have removed that intervention. What we are thinking that this removal of subsidy would have done for us is to enable the refineries to start working. Dangote refinery will be working, Port Harcourt refinery, so that independent marketers can be able to have, leverage to be able to buy this petroleum product where it's cheaper, and that will bring about that competition the industry is looking at. Now we can't even access petroleum products. Now NNPCL, we are bonded in their portal. It is only when they give us products that we will take, and they have been trying to give us products, and now they have come out because they are also getting this product and say we can no longer get this product. So if they can't get this product, how can they give to independent marketers? So it is important that the federal government should design a way the independent marketer can be able to holistically, the way NNPC is also being designed, to be able to get this product directly, or either by enabling them to import, or give them the necessary instrument and apparatus to be able to import. We can import ourselves. We have the facilities to discharge. We have the facilities to distribute nationwide. We are the highest populated retail outlets owners and the biggest in West Africa. So we should be giving concession as one of the value chain stakeholders in the downstream distribution sector to be able to ensure that whatever government is planning for the people, the product will get to them, and it will go to them very, very, very much cheaper. Now, with the independent marketers, we're no longer dependent. We're no longer independent. No. We are not dependent. It is upon DAPMA members giving us products that we will sell. So these are the snacks and the bottlenecks surrounding distributions of petroleum products. The issue of the pipelines, they are all gone. It is also a snack, because even if the vessel comes in Apapa, it will take close to 1 week before product will get to Bauchi or Bronu or Kaduna, because it will pass through trucking. And those trucks does not fly. The roads are bad. The parts of those trucks are being imported. The value of the product inside is very, very expensive. Most of us cannot even boast of 3 square meals. It is when product is adequate that the independent marketers smile. Now that we don't have product, some filling stations have not sold since 1 or 2 months now. And they are paying salary, they are paying government rates, they are paying all taxes.
Oh, okay. Now, Majid, there's something he talked about that, of course, affects quite a lot of things. Talking about the different, prices of fuel. You go to some stations, fuel stations, you see as much as 800 per liter. Some will say, okay, they're selling for 700 and something per liter. I don't know what your experience is in this regard. So I want you to, talk about this issue, really, and how it affects the everyday life of an individual.
And that's what you get in a deregulated market. The market is actually deregulated. What happened was the NNPC simply tried to fill a gap by providing subsidized products so as to ensure, like you use the right word, pocket-friendly prices for commuters and other utilizers of this product. But in a deregulated environment, where marketers, such as members of his own union, they get products from sundry sources, you don't expect them to sell at the same price, because it is subject to terms and conditions on the basis of willing buyer, willing seller between the suppliers or the importers and the distributors. So that is quite within order when you have a deregulated market. And that's what some of us have said. Energy is not something you deregulate in the manner we're trying to deregulate in Nigeria because of the importance of energy. And because PMS runs the bulk of our economy, it has to be regulated, particularly in terms of pricing and distribution, so as not to erode the productive base of this economy, as we have seen in the past couple of months. And so, for me, there is a long-term solution to this problem. There is a mid-term and there's an immediate. In the long term, he talked about refineries. He talked about distribution of pipelines.
Before you go into the long-term and the short-term, solution to these problems, we'll take a short break now and listen to, the experiences of some Nigerians as put together by Thomas Ogbetere. Don't go away.
I came here from 3:56, and this is after 4 now. We started from the back of the filling station, and it is now that we are at the gate. From what I heard, they say NNPC, the people supplying them fuel, they are owing them about how many billion, and for that reason, most of the stations, they are not selling. So the only station that is selling in this central area, you can see everywhere is just flooded with cars. So that is why we are here. I've been here, and sometimes you'll be on the queue for 2 hours, 3 hours. I bought this thing, coconut, and corn to eat, so to sustain me, so that I can at least get the fuel and buy. But the situation is very pathetic. It's very, very bad now, because from tomorrow now, we don't know what will happen. Most of the stations that we are expecting, that they will say they don't have the fuel.
I've been on this queue now, actually for almost 2 hours now. So there's nobody to address us pertaining to this fuel scarcity. It's so pathetic that, as in Nigeria, we have crude oil, and we have to go through this to get the fuel. What of if we don't have the crude oil? What will have happened?
What government should do decisively is to make sure that the refineries work. Whatever they need to do to make the refineries work. They have people are even buying at the so-called no subsidy price. You understand? People aren't complaining, but we still can't get the fuel to buy. So government should do everything. Yes, we have removed subsidy. We have accepted with you. We look at okay, it's a reform, an ongoing reform, and all of that. But let us have the fuel to buy even at this no subsidy price. That's what I think government should do. Whatever they should do, let the refineries work, because even the importation is no more working and all of that. Let the refineries work.
Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, this is Nigeria Today, and we're looking at the fuel situation in the country. And I have with me here in the studio 2 gentlemen. Look, Adike, you had the reaction of people there.
Yes,
some say,
yes. It's at the filling station. That is where we are feeling the heat. Even when there was importation of ethanol in this country mixed with PMS. Most of our marketers repairs vehicles were taken to police stations. We feel the impact of scarcity. It's not even
I will ask, there's
us.
something you mentioned. You said the Dangote refinery, and other refinery projects. How might they impact the fuel supply in Nigeria?
Yeah. The policy of government, when you see some little kind of thrift in distribution, it's policy of government. You understand? People are trying to adapt to the policy of this. We are trying to adapt to the policy of this deregulation removal of subsidy. And it's not going to be easy. You understand me? But I also know that with time, things will take shape, and competition will set in. Like what happened in the telecommunication industry. Competition will set in. That the price was now start dwindling down. Because if Dangote is on, Port Harcourt refinery is on, some of these modular refineries are on, government will look at their policies and bring them together and ensure that they are working. And once they are working, you will find out that they will start producing. And marketers will have choices of going to one refinery to be able to get petroleum product and at a cheaper rate. Because if Dangote is selling 700 or 750, I'm not fixing price for them. And Port Harcourt refinery is selling 550. Dangote will want to go down again to be able to have strategic off-takers.
So you're advocating healthy competition.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Majid, you wanted to tell us about the short-term and the long-term solution.
I think he summarized it. He has emphasized so much on getting refineries to work, and this should be a no-brainer. I think the major focus of the NNPC now should be to fix its 4 refineries, get them working, and most importantly, fix its network of pipelines across this country that links about 25 depots and many other flow stations across the country to ease the distribution bottleneck of transporting or trucking products by road. We need to get these pipelines back. And that, for me, that should be the focus of both the federal government and the NNPC. And in fact, if you ask me, all investments, all business plans should be collapsed into getting this working. You cannot have 4 refineries and none is working. You cannot have a network of pipelines that links flow stations and the depots not in working condition, and you're making plans for further investment in some other issues. I think this should be the fundamental business of the NNPC.
But we have several reports about the Port Harcourt refinery that, you know, to see the start of even the Dangote refinery.
I don't want to dwell so much on, you know, this frequency of promise and fail by the management of the NNPC on its refineries. So when I say get it to work, I want something that is real and holistic this time around. We don't want any such, you know, promise set timelines are unable to meet them. Let them just do the work and make sure within the shortest possible time these things are working. For me, the only condition at all that subsidy should have been removed from petrol was to redirect the spending on fixing refineries. Because you will still need affordable energy, no matter how you look at it. And it is easier to subsidize for the production side than the consumption side in energy. And so that is the long-term strategy. But in the immediate, if the federal government has made up its mind to stop intervening in pricing, then they should declare that much and allow players and other stakeholders in the industry to go and import products or build refineries that they can build, and let us now have a truly deregulated market. But they want to be able to live with the consequences of the predictable rise in prices of this product and the concomitant effect on the economy that might also result into social unrest, as we saw in the recent past. So it has a duty now to itself and to the country. If you cannot guarantee affordable petrol through subsidy or another interventions, now at least allow supply, you know, to percolate, to permeate the entire country by lifting the lead on restrictions on importation. I say this because it is one thing to have supply challenge and also have, in addition to that, pricing increase that makes it out of reach. So if we have supply on one hand, we cannot begin to talk about the pricing. So the government cannot just sit down and leave this whole thing to the NNPC to sort out. It has to be a federal government policy at this point. And we've not seen any direction in that regard. So something has to be done right now to break this logjam of having unavailability, unaffordability, and inaccessibility of these very important energy products.
Okay.
That's a recipe for energy crisis, and that's what Nigeria is currently experiencing.
Okay, a little bit away from this, you know, well, we're still talking about the first activity, though, you know. Now, how can we, you know, is it possible, is it feasible to explore alternative source of energy?
The truth is, the world is not ready fully for the kind of energy transition that we think or we want to believe will happen overnight. Fossil fuel energy derivatives still runs the world economy. In fact, in some instances, some European countries have gone back to coal-fired power plants to augment their energy supply chain. And so, I think we are not there yet. It is very expensive to even transit from fossil fuel to renewables. And the world is not really in a hurry because we've not really found perfect alternatives to fossil fuel.
Okay.
So we need to still deal with this problem of having inadequacy in fossil fuel energy derivatives in Nigeria.
I will stop you there so that Ukadike can, you know, wrap this one up for us. What's your take on these alternative sources of energy?
Yeah, we're talking about CNG, and the federal government has canvassed the uses of CNG as alternative so that we can remove the pressure from premium motor spirits and automated gasoline oil. But we are not seeing the drive. We are good in doing policies, but we are not seeing the drive. Institutionalization is the problem of Nigeria.
I'll have to stop you there, Kadike. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We'll have some other time, you know, to be able to discuss this.
Yes, with that, we'll wrap up today's episode of Nigeria Today. Very big thank you to, we had Majid Dahiru, the public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And also Ukadike Chinedu, National Publicity Secretary, IPMAN. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And thank you for being part of the program. Remember, Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News. You can also check out this episode and others on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Ikaria Clinton. Goodbye.